You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to The Spectral Zone with host Kaz Rooney.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Spectral Zone on Parasearch Radio. As always, I'm your host for the show, I'm Kaz Rooney. And tonight I'm being joined by not one guest, but three, who are becoming quite infamous, the Ouija Brothers, who are based in Wolverhampton. We have Dave and Steve and Griff. Hi, guys.
Hey,
hello.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
We're all right. We're okay. Yeah, we're good. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. You're building up quite a reputation, aren't you?
We are. I don't know if it's a good reputation we're building. But, you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, we're bringing a lot of like humour and a bit of comedy into the paranormal. And a lot of that isn't actually intentional. It's just, it just kind of happens. It's just how we are. You know, because we just have, like, it's just how we am, isn't it? To be honest,
it's just how we've always been.
Oh, we're not very professional, are we? Really? It's just.
Well, I don't know. Some people would say that we're more professional than Map staff.
Would they? But anyway, a lot of people are enjoying it. Like I say, we've only been going for about 7 months, but we're enjoying it at the moment, and you know, thankfully, other people have, I suppose, accepted us.
Well, no, enjoyed it as well. I'd rather say that. We've just come across as, to be completely honest with what we do, and enjoy it as well at the same time. So I'm happy with how far we've come.
Well, this is the thing, guys. I mean, like you said, you've only been going for about 7 months. But I have spent all day watching your videos. You're actually a really good team. You really work well together.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think we all bring something a bit different. Even though we're all kind of the same, we don't, you know, none of us are mediums or anything like that. But I think because, you know, me, Steve and Dave, you know, we're brothers and we've known Griff for like 15 years. It's just easy and the energy is just always there. I mean, Griff brings a bundle to energy just himself. He's got an aura of energy. He's like, it's insane.
I think he's hyperactive.
Some people call it ADHD.
But I think we do work quite well, and we're always quite, you know, comfortable, you know, obviously with each other. So, you know, there's no awkwardness or anything there.
Right, what I'm going to do, guys, so everybody gets to hear everyone, I'm going to ask you one by one. Right, I'm going to pick on you first, Dave.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Right, what brought you into the paranormal?
Well, basically, it's when we visited East Drive a couple of years ago, just by ourselves, just no cameras, nothing like that. And basically, it was crazy. It was kicking off. It's probably the most active night we've ever had investigating ever, wasn't it? Not just... Yeah. I mean, what was going on? There was loads of stuff going on. Things were being moved. We had weird people running up and down the stairs. We did. I mean, we had I actually saw like a bed quilt actually flip over. No one was in the room with it. I mean, just insane stuff.
It's just around then, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. And then after that, we just thought maybe if we set up like a paranormal group, we'd get this all the time.
It was actually there, and then it wasn't. It was
We'll get to that. Could be another.
Oh, okay.
And what about you, Steve?
Well, I've always been a big fan. I'm going to say, the worst group ever, but I was always a big fan of Mouse Haunted, and I always loved, I always liked seeing the locations that they were going to, and obviously when I was a kid, about 10, 15 years ago, when everyone thought that was quite real, I always wanted to do it. I suppose, I wouldn't say wanted to do it, but I was always interested in doing it, ourselves. And then obviously, again, kind of channeling Dave, when we went to 30 East Drive that one time, it was so good. And then we went a few other times. We was like, well, I can put videos together, I can edit. And why don't we just start traveling everywhere? And because it's kind of like a bit like an adrenaline rush, when something happens.
Yeah,
and
isn't it?
So we just wanted to do more of it. And so we set up a group and off we went. So, I've got to thank Mouse Haunted, but I've also got to thank, 13 Drive as well. Because they are, they got me, kind of interested in the paranormal, so to say. I mean, I know them fake, but I was always interested in, what they were doing and the techniques. Not the faking techniques, but, just going in with cameras and seeing what was there and what wasn't.
And what about you, Griff? What got you into paranormal?
When I was a kid, we used to have a lot of stuff happen when I was a kid. There was always this walking up the stairs, basically. There was a 12 o'clock every night, and all my family heard it, everyone heard it. And it's constant all the while, so it would always happen. And that always confused me. But as I've gone through different locations and where I've been living, I've always had something happen. Like I've had things happen in the houses that I've been in, and that's just what inevitably brought me into doing the paranormal, investigation stuff. So it was just that, really.
Now, do any of you have a favourite bit of equipment? Everybody assumes it's a Ouija board, but do you have a favourite bit?
No. Well, my favourite equipment, Stephen, is probably just the camera. I think that's the best equipment you can have. And that's mine. Dave?
Over time, I've lost interest in any equipment except for the camera. I'd have to say, because it's just so it's easily influenced by just things in the environment, like the K2 meter. You never know if it's just been set off by a mobile phone or some sort of electric.
Well, you do, because we turn them off.
Well, yeah. Well, there you go. Actually, yeah, that becomes that one. But we prefer not to use any equipment because that's...
Well, we do use equipment.
Well, we prefer not to, though. I mean, if we have to, we will. I think it's more like a last resort, though, isn't it?
Well, I'm a massive fan of the K2 meter and the REM pod. Because the REM pod ain't gone off much, and I'll tell you that now, it ain't gone off much. But at the same time, there is other things in the environment that can sway a REM pod to go off or a K2 meter.
Well, the way I look at it is if you think you think of the old horror films like The Entity and The Exorcist, there was no K2 or REM pod in that, was there?
No, that, but this is what I mean.
So if people are watching, they'd think, maybe they'd rather not watch. I don't know.
What
was I trying to say there?
I don't even know what he was going on about, but
yeah,
I'll tell you now. But the REM pod K2 meter are my favourites. Like if I'm going to use any equipment, I used to be a fan of the Ouija board until I debunked it in my own head, and then also I just prefer my own voice. So I prefer just speaking out because obviously if things are going to happen, they're going to happen regardless.
Yeah, I think we just like to feel, the energy, and I know that sounds a bit crazy, but
that's what I was trying to say.
Like with the spirit box, we do have a spirit box and we do use it on every location. But what I've realised is they're so unreliable. You can get some good, you can get some good answers.
We've had some amazing answers.
You can get some good answers now and again. But when you're there in person and then you've all heard something and then we all say a different word, what we've heard, you can't really take that as a reliable piece. Well, it is. I don't know, man. It's weird, the spirit boxes. It's really weird. And then obviously when you get home and then you sit through the edit and then you listen to it even more and you analyse it, and it's a totally different word again.
Yeah.
And so we do use it, but we usually save that for the live streams.
Use with caution, should be printed on it.
Yeah. We take the spirit box and all the other things with a pinch of salt, I'd say. But we do use them. We do enjoy using them. But just take with a pinch of salt in like what we found out.
Do you actually find when you go into locations, do you trust your gut instincts? Do you feel that you get drawn to a certain place in the location?
Yeah, man. You can get attached to one place as well that I've found. Because basically, is that we've all walked into a place and we've all gone, man, it feels real dark in here. The energy feels horrible.
Yeah.
And it's just one of them things. I believe that you've got to trust your own instincts within this field anyway, because it's the only thing that separates you from just being unaware to being aware is your senses, your own senses. So
yeah. Well, I think that's why the camera and again, just what you feel is the best thing you can have. Because when we did a location this Saturday, it just felt dead. Not spiritual wise, but it just felt like there was just like no energy. It felt relaxing, and I actually mentioned that in our video that it just feels nice, calm, relaxing,
it's a nice
and chill.
Place,
yeah, it was. But you can feel the mood change in certain places, though. I mean, we've done the ancient ramming twice, and the first time we were there, you could feel the energy, and then the second time we went. It kept dropping. It felt like there was nothing there. But then at other times, you could feel the energy. So it's
it was almost like it was struggling to build energy, wasn't it?
So you can definitely feel when the atmosphere changes.
The thing is, I mean, I did the ancient ramen in November, and I'm going to ask you guys because I've asked everyone I know that's actually done the ancient ramen. But what I found is it's actually warmer outside the ancient ramen than it is inside it.
It is, yeah, definitely.
I was actually walking about with 2 hoodies on and t-shirts and gloves, and I was still really, really cold. But when I went outside, it was fine.
Well, we went in the summer, and it still got really cold, didn't it?
Especially at night.
I mean, and Dave tried to sleep there on his own.
I didn't see that, Dave.
Yeah, and the burglars come and ruined everything.
Yeah. He got a bit more activity than he was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to go and watch the car, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know.
The car was okay.
Yeah. Well, what actually happened is, as you know, because you've been there, you have to hold on to the key, don't you?
Yeah.
And he left the key.
Don't tell him this.
He left the key on the side, and he closed the door behind him. And he couldn't get back into the house.
Oh, you're joking.
So he had to spend the entire night in the car. He had no toilet. He had no credit on his phone, so he couldn't even contact us to see where we were sleeping. And, you had a good night, didn't you?
Well, that's one way of putting it. What I was glad to know was on Saturday, I'm not the only person to have done that. Paranormal Truth did the same thing. They actually broke. Did they break in? Was it they broke the door open with a crowbar or something like that?
I'm actually feeling sorry for Dave now. He's sleeping in the car.
They used a shovel to rip the door open, and they had to. Basically, the owner of the house wasn't very happy there.
I can imagine. It's a really old building, though, and it does have a certain energy to it. The ancient ramen.
I think it's the oldest building in the country, isn't it?
I don't know if it's the oldest building in the country.
That's what the bloke used to say.
I just know that the place itself is just got a really dark eeriness about it because of how the rooms and how everything's been kept. Whereas if you change the layout of most of the furniture and you took most of the stuff out of there, then he wouldn't have that effect anymore. So I think you play a big part on yourself with it as well, like
psychological.
I do have to admit, I had a bit of a different experience from you guys because I went into the Bishop's room, and I mean, we literally played the Lord's Prayer, we played hymns, we had done everything we really shouldn't have done, to be fair. But I could literally have just crawled into one of the beds and went to sleep.
Wow. Well,
it felt really flat. And then
That's terrible.
Well, when we went there, we did actually get a few things, especially in the bishop's room. Like, there was a bit where me and Jace were sitting on 2 chairs, and there was like a thump, like a step or something in between us, which I thought was quite good.
Yeah.
But we also heard like walking when we did our alarm vigils. I heard like something walking up the corridor. Yeah. Dave felt the same, but he also had something like you felt like squeeze your leg. Well, that could have been a muscle spasm, you know. You can't rule it out. But
that was like, actually, it wasn't a pinch. It was like that.
Well,
three claws.
Well, tell her what happened when you was there on your own, minus the burglary, like some of the things.
Well,
heard.
When I was there by myself, it was I was there for about 2 hours by myself, wasn't I? And for the first hour, it was really quiet. There was nothing going on. And then I started hearing footsteps in the hallway, like creaking. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the building moving, or it's an old building. I started to hear it up in the loft. I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm starting to get a bit worried here. Then I started hearing growling in the hallway, like it was going from the stairway, which is quite a way away, towards the door where I was in.
The bishop room.
Yeah, the bishop room, which I was lying. I was like, okay, forget this. Like, flip the quilt off me. Get up. I've had enough. I don't know what it is. I don't want to find out. And then that's when I left the building, wasn't it?
Well, it was quite interesting because we watched a video not long after we did the Ancient Ramming, and it was by a channel and a group called Dark Arts Paranormal, and they caught they heard the same noise, didn't they?
Exactly the same growl that I was hearing, just not as loud.
Yeah.
One was going on for ages. It was as if it was coming from one end of the hall towards the door.
Yeah. And
it was insane. It's a shame you can't hear it on the actual video. If you did, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, I should have had the good.
Actually, if you wear headphones and you turn the volume up to like 100, you can actually hear it. Good job.
The thing is, guys, I watched the video from Ancient Ramming.
Yeah,
and it's a good show. A good job that the show is actually marked explicit. That is a very clear EVP. You have said it was clearer.
Yeah, part 1.
But it was quite clear. It's quite clear on the video as well.
Yeah. It was a great EVP, and you could see us all. I don't know where that noise come from. Obviously, it probably was. What's going on? But yeah, it was a really good EVP, that one. That's with Andrew from Proving Demons. It's a shame that it's not a shame. He caught that with his EVP, and yeah, it was a really good catch that he caught.
Yeah. So anyone, I'm not going to say what it says, even though the show is explicit, but go and watch the video and you'll get what I mean.
Yeah.
But it was a really good EVP.
Yeah, it was good.
And it fitted in the location.
Oh, sorry. We got another EVP on part 2 that we got on a live stream, and it says "Get Out," doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does.
And we thought that was quite a good one.
Yeah. Now, you've done quite a lot of locations, considering you've only been going for 7 months.
I know, yeah. Our banks.
Someone say we ain't done enough. We're still trying to find loads more.
Yeah, the thing that we're trying to do, we don't want to do the same venue all the time. There's nothing wrong with them venues, but we want to go out and we want to experience and go to a lot of places. And there's so many locations, that we want to go to. But yeah, like when we look at some of the places we've done some big names. And this year, I know we're doing a few more, and
we knocked the list shorter this year.
Yeah. But it is very, very expensive. But all teams know this. But we're not going in there, for financial gain.
Yeah, we're not running this as a business. It's kind of how would you describe it, Jason?
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
An expensive hobby.
An expensive hobby.
Yeah. We're just recording it as we go along.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say to everyone: is that you're coming on our journey, because this journey was for us. It's not for anyone else. It was for us, and we just thought we'd put it on YouTube because of how funny we all are.
Oh yeah,
and that I ain't modest, at all. But yeah, that's just me being me. But I thought it would be a great show, and it turns out it has. It's been really good because
it's a good idea.
Obviously, Steve's good at editing, and then we're all good at the other stuff. So it's just worked really well.
Well, one of the places I want to ask you about the Hell House in Skegness.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me about that.
Oh, God. It was actually quite funny how that come along. I was watching a live stream. I think it was Paranormal Truth, actually. So big shout out to them. I was watching a live stream from Paranormal Truth, and they mentioned, like, it come up in the chat, and they said, "Oh, have you heard about the new, haunted house?" And then straight away, I was thinking, "Oh God, where's this? We've got to do it." And then he mentioned it. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's that house in Skegness, 81 Skegness." So straight away, I was on Facebook. I found out who kind of, who run the place. Jason Harris, his name was.
Yeah.
And I messaged him and I was like, we want to do it. We need to do, this house, see what's there. And he was like, yeah, sure. 2 days later, we was driving to Skegness to do this location. And I think 2 days later, we was doing the ancient ramming. So it was quite a lot of journey, quite a lot of drive and whatever for us.
Yeah.
It was interesting, we went in there. It's quite run down. You could feel, the atmosphere was quite heavy. It was an interesting place. It wasn't that active when we were there. I think it's been took off. I don't think you can book investigations there now, can you?
I don't think you can. I was meant to do it last year, but... Yeah,
it's a shame that is, because it was a great place. I've done it twice. The other guys, Dave and Griff, they did it once, and it was a place that I did want to go back to, because there's a few videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's one of them places where people say, "Oh, it's just another cash cow," they're trying to, get the same, financial success as, 30 East Drive. Now, when we did it, I'm not going to mention how much it cost, but it was cheap. I doubt he's making any money really from the people that are going in there. But I think there's some legitimate, some truth to the house, because we was doing an Ouija board in that house, and nothing was really happening. And then we had all our hands on the board, and we was started calling out. It was like, "Come on then!" And all of a sudden, the REM pod went off in the other room. And we could hear walking as well in the other room next to us. And then you can see all their faces. And we're like, oh, God, the atmosphere changed, didn't it, Jace?
Yeah.
You could feel the atmosphere had changed. You could hear the walking. The REM pod just went off. And then I asked a question. I was like, is that all you can do, set a REM pod off? And then there was 2 knocks, wasn't there?
2 pretty loud knocks in the room we were in.
Yeah.
How many times has the REM pod gone off? How many months we've had it?
Our REM pod has probably gone off
3 times that I can think of. It went off once at the station hotel, just randomly, didn't it?
Yeah, our REM pod doesn't go off hardly at all. But when that happened, you could just feel like something had changed in the house. So for me, I think that house is legit. And hopefully they open it back up for other people to go in, because, I wouldn't mind going there again.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Oh, boy, I'm really fussed.
Right, Griff, 39 Degree Street, tell me about it.
Well, 39 Degree Street for me. Oh, I like the place. I do. I think it's great. I love the owner. Andy, he's great.
Andy Yates, yeah.
Andy Yates, he's a proper bloke. Like, he's hilarious himself. Hard to listen to, but he knows that anyway. It's his accent. But the place itself, I don't know. It's a good place. So we've done it 5 times, haven't we? Yeah, our first ever visit there was really good, because it was like we could hear voices in between us as a group. Like, say if we was in a triangle, there was something happening in the middle of us. Oh, yeah. And this is all on our videos. And it was just really weird. Like, and the thing is when we hear these noises, we do try to debunk them and stuff like that. Like, because usually it can be like your stomach or your throat or something like that. Like, because obviously of eating and stuff like that, and it can just be something. But there's just loads of stuff it could be. But there's a few things there that have happened that you just can't really explain. It's like the knocking. I'll always revert back to the knocking at 39 Degree Street. It's on the videos as well. And Stephen goes to knock, and he stops. And then whoever's there with us finishes it off for you.
Yeah.
It was great, that was. I love that, because he was going doof, doof. And then he did it again. He went do it, and then went to do it again, and he didn't actually do it, but someone else finished it for him. And there was someone there mimicking us, I think.
Yeah. Well, we caught an amazing, like when we was doing a spirit box in the living room, and I can't remember what I asked.
So that's the voice, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the voice was so loud. It
was like a little girl going. Ooh.
I mean, I don't know if you've heard it. I think it was in our. It was in the first episode we did, and all three of us heard it, and we all looked at each other and was like, "Well, was that you? Was that you?" We wasn't getting anywhere because it wasn't any of us, but it was so loud. It was probably one of the best things I've heard on an investigation.
Some of the best things happened there first episode.
Yeah, I think East Drive and the Grey Street, two best places we've been to, like activity.
I don't know, I'm a massive fan of the...
I don't know if you guys actually know, but I went to 30 East Drive last August for the second time, but I stayed there for 3 days.
Yeah. Okay. How did you find it?
It's an interesting house. I think there's definitely something in the house. I don't think it's where it's hyped up to be, but there's definitely something in the house.
Well, we've got a lot of history with 30 East Drive. Yeah. I mean, that's how we started out. We stayed there for 4 nights about 2 years ago, and then we stayed there again for 3 nights, January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd of this year. And we always get something. I've had my quilt pulled away from me at that house, and that's a weird experience, that is.
Something treading on the bed as well.
Something treading on the bed. I heard something run up the stairs and then stop moaning and groaning outside the door. Then he walks into the room and you can hear its footsteps, and it's moaning and it's getting closer and closer. I had to whack Dave at this point. I was like, forget this. But unfortunately, this is when we wasn't recording, we wasn't a group. But it's things like that made us think, we should be recording this, because it's some amazing, it's ridiculous, like some of the things we've actually had in that house.
What we noticed from East Drive is sometimes you can go like a whole day and have nothing in the day, can't you?
That's the problem.
And as soon as you get to bed, someone flips a switch, the house just goes alive.
Yeah.
People going mad, running around the house, slamming doors, whatever.
The last time we did it, on part 2 of our episode that we've just done, it was done in January, we had 2 of the loudest bangs. It shook the entire house, didn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
And we all heard it. We all felt it.
We all thought it was underneath.
Yeah. And we all said it felt like something was like whacking underneath all of us. And we were all in different rooms, This was 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it felt like something just like...
I just remember meeting Dave on the landing.
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
Well, we caught that on tape. And
Artist Stephen wasn't there.
I was in bed.
Well, you had Laura and...
You had to protect Laura and Lucy, didn't you?
We don't have anyone to protect us. That's why we met on the line.
Yeah.
But we love that place, and hopefully we can go there. We will go there again this year at some point.
Yeah. Well, the strangest thing I had happen, I've got to say, 30 East Drive, I'd done a live on my group. And an iPhone, I use my iPhone, but it locks off. So we went to the kitchen to make tea and order pizza and whatever. And I put the phone on charge, and it flashed up. And when we looked at it, it was trying to dial a number. And nobody was doing it, but it was actually dialing a number, and I was like, what?
That's really good. Well, I remember Dave actually made some cups of teas for us at 30 East Drive. And then he left the room, and then we went to go pick up our teas, like a few minutes later. And it was all overflown. It was like the teas had overflown, and it was all over the sides. And I was like, Dave, can't you make a cup of tea? Do you not know how to fill a cup? It was like the side was flooded, wasn't it? And the side was all flooded. And we had, the tea was ruined, it was watery tea. It's ruined. But it's just one of them crazy things. We could do an entire live stream talking about the things that happened at 30 East Drive.
And by God, we have done.
We did. Yeah. Something happened to that. We don't know what happened. But, I love that place.
Right. Dave, tell me about Station Hotel.
The Station Hotel. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the station hotel. Did we really get anything there, to be fair? We did get a few things, but we don't know, because you're in a building with, I'd say, maybe hundreds of people. You don't know if it's people upstairs or downstairs just knocking or whatever. I don't know what to think about that one.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it?
You got some good stuff in your last when
I did hear.
when you went to bed.
I think, yeah, I did. There was like a section at the end of the video. It did sound like there was somebody whispering in the bathroom, didn't it? But again, you don't know if it's just the wind blowing through the windows or whatever. I don't know.
Well, what we did,
I'm not sure about the station hotel myself.
I'll come and save him. What we did, the station hotel. We booked 3 rooms together just so we couldn't, we could kind of dismiss any noises from the other rooms.
Yeah.
So that's why we got like 3 rooms.
We basically had a floor to ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't know this when we booked it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of the time, not much happened. There was a bit where, you could feel again the energy was building, but it felt really weak. There was one instance, though, when we were all in, like me and Griff had gone to bed, and something got thrown in your room, didn't it, Jace?
That was horrible, that was, because I was asleep.
Yeah. And you can hear it on our video. He picks it up, and it's like something got thrown in his room, and it was the loudest noise, I've ever heard. Well, one of the loudest, I think, 30 years straight.
Asleep, well, yeah.
Yeah, I was
asleep, but then I heard, I didn't hear the initial first bang. It was the falling of the keys.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. And it was like I was wondering what's happened there, because I felt like the bed had moved as well. It was weird. It was weird. It was a weird experience for me, because I fell asleep because I was tired, like I always am. And what you call it, I just woke up, and I heard like a rattling, and then I just got up and I went out the room, and I knocked on Stephen's door, and I was asking, was that you, Steve? Yeah. Because I thought it was him. Right, and I thought they must be still recording, and I got up, and he was in bed.
I think I came out as well. So I heard it from my room. The bang was.
But thankfully, we caught that.
It felt like everything had moved, like the chest, the table, and everything. It was weird. It was really weird. I wish we had a camera set up in my room instead of these two.
Hold on, you had the camera. You didn't set it up.
Yeah, you didn't set it up.
Well, I wish I'd set the camera up.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hopefully we can go back there again. I think we'll only book the one room this time.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 1.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
It's like £100 a room.
Oh, yeah, so it'll be 60 quid each, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 room then, because that was expensive.
It was expensive.
But, we enjoyed that one because it's a local one to us.
Yeah.
It's only about 20 minutes down the road. So, we need to go to the, the local places instead of, going to Skegness and London and wherever we go all the time.
The thing is because the Black Country is rich with history in itself anyway.
Yeah.
And there's millions of places around by us that are supposed to be haunted.
Yeah, Dudley Castle.
It's like we haven't really ventured in our own pond, man. We've just been going to everyone else's backyard. So it's just one of them.
I'm going to try and focus.
Do you guys ever just take your camera, your EVP recorder, your torches, and just go out to random places, abandoned places, or graveyards, anything like that?
Yeah, we do that as well. I mean, we've got our toolbox down there.
Well, I sort of did that the other week at Roughwood, didn't I?
Yeah.
I had no equipment with me.
But yeah, I mean,
if you meant to take the equipment.
Yeah, I mean,
we've actually been looking into that. We was thinking about doing the Royal Hotel in Wolverhampton, but I don't think we can actually get in it, can we?
The Royal Hospital.
Yeah, the hospital.
The one that they've refurbed.
Yeah.
I told you last week.
Yes, for a minute. That's why we're going to do it. You told me about it. That's how I'm going to do it.
I'm just letting you know. I told you. Then you can't get in there because it's all been refurbed and they're knocked down everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like you've never been to town before.
I don't go to that town. It's not safe.
But there's lots of places near us, though. There's loads of abbeys. There's obviously, you can all go into the woods and stuff like that. So when the weather picks up, definitely, we will go there.
I would have liked to go to Roughwood today in the snow. Obviously, because it's actually snowing at the minute to wreck the camera.
And we've got other stuff to do.
Yeah, loads of stuff. Later tonight.
Let's kill it.
Yeah. Go.
In the fucking snow and the blizzard.
As I just said, the blizzard would have wrecked the camera.
Yeah, will wreck us.
The thing is, everyone, you can't see what I can actually see, and I can actually see these 3 on camera. And Griff is messing about with a hat. And I'm home, and I'm convinced he's trying to get me to laugh.
I was. That's why I did it to him there. I was just kidding.
He's like this right up to the camera with a hat, and I'm like, I'm not laughing.
Yeah, looks like one of them French blokes.
It looks like Paulie from Rocket, doesn't it?
Oh, Paulie. Okay.
Like, do you guys have any rules when you investigate? Is there anything you won't do?
What, between us or between the places that we go?
No, just between us.
Rules.
Between you, is there anything you won't do? Do you have any rules like you don't leave each other for too long, or?
We locked Dave in a house while me and Griff go sitting.
Well, that isn't very nice, is it?
No,
well, I asked them to do it.
Oh, well, that's fair enough then.
It's all in the name of evidence, isn't it? To be honest, I think we're up about. I mean,
well, it's like because we had one time everyone was protecting us. I think one of our rules is not to protect us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't want protection from something that we're trying to find.
Yeah, like we'll do it like on live streams. A lot of people would like, pray and give us, best wishes or I don't know whatever.
As good as that is,
give us advice.
As good as that is, it's that I think it's against what we believe in within ourselves.
Yeah, and we've just said, listen, we want to catch the best evidence possible, and as nice as it is, just please stop it. I think that's the only rule, really. To be honest, we're up for anything
as long as you don't fake anything. That's it as well.
Oh, obviously, but that goes without saying.
Yeah.
That goes without saying, though, doesn't it? You're not going to fake anything. But, I mean...
Well, to be honest, we spend that much money, it'd be pointless to spend the amount of money that we do going to these locations, getting no sleep. A lot of the time, we're sleeping in the car or big drives, back home. If we're going to fake it, we'll just go to the flipping local woods and just fake it there. It'll be free, it'll be cheap. But no, we want to go to these, some of the best locations, and
because we want to find it.
Yeah. To be fair, we haven't caught anything that you could say, "Oh, that's fake." Have we? Really?
There's
we've caught some good stuff.
Lots of stuff that we've caught.
One thing is, we have actually never all the things that's happened. We haven't actually put a label on it and said, "Listen, this is 100% paranormal." We've done about 23 episodes, I think, and in none of them episodes we've gone, "Oh, that's a ghost," or "That's a spirit." We just kind of go, "Well,
what the fuck's that?"
And then we just leave it at that. And then, when you watch our videos, people can make up their own minds. And when people come to us, it's like, "Oh, no, it was this." We go, "Oh, yeah, thank you so much, for looking and finding it and debunking it." Because, we like, because at the end of the day, we've only been doing it for 7 months. So we're still learning ourselves and... Yeah,
you never really stop learning.
There's
always going to be developments in technology and everything else, so you're always going to keep learning, really, aren't you?
Well, the one thing in this field, the paranormal field and paranormal investigating, is that no one can ever be wrong at the same time, because no one knows anything about it, really. We can all put our our views on it. We can all put in what we believe, but at the end of the day, no one actually truly believes what it is. So
knows.
Well, what it is.
Nobody knows what it is, really, do they?
Yeah, so
that's why it's called paranormal. That's the meaning, really.
Well, that's the meaning, but that's what I mean. Everyone's got their own beliefs, and we have ours, and it works for us because we get a lot of action. So,
right, guys, I'm going to go around you one by one. We'll mix it up a bit. Right, we'll start with Steve. Favourite location that you've done so far?
Oh, man. See, that's a hard one, that is, because these two get to think now.
I don't.
Two straight away.
See, I've got loads. I've enjoyed every single one we've done. Well, pretty much most of them. If I had to pick one, I suppose, I'd probably say Lily Shore Abbey as the best one we've ever done, because you kind of come out of nowhere. It's a local place to us, and we went there expecting nothing, and we got some amazing stuff there. I think the name of the video is called "The Hellhounds of Lily Shore Abbey," and that place has definitely got the most scared I've ever been at a location. We was ready to pack and leg it. Because we thought there was like a witch hunt, coming to the abbey, and the dogs were about
to. Get your pitchforks, lads! We're going in.
And that was, I mean, you can see, like, if anyone watches the video, you can see the terror and just everything goes out the window.
Yeah, it's all genuine as well.
I mean, the camera works bad. I was shaking. The night vision had gone on the cameras. We tried to put batteries in. It was a shambles. But it was, we love going to that place. We've done it about 3-4 times. And to be honest, I don't think we've ever been disappointed. And it's a great location.
Right.
So Lily Shore Abbey for me.
Right, Griff, what about you?
Well, Stephen obviously took my favourite. We just said 30 East Drive because of how much stuff has actually happened there. Because I love Lily Shore Abbey, I do. I think it's a great place. But if I have to give for my second best, it's going to be... I don't know, because I love the Nippon factory. Because of how it was like half urban exploring, and then we had the K2 evidence that we couldn't explain. Yeah. And we actually went back to the location to try and find some K2 meter stuff, but it didn't even go off.
Yeah, so that's the video. I don't know if you've seen it, and I think it's called "Shocking Findings at the Factory," and it's the thumbnail where there's just like loads of knives in the wall.
Yeah, I think that's a close second for me. They've knocked it down now, so we can never go back. So
that was a great
one. And there was the really loud voice as well at the beginning.
Yeah.
Before we even really started filming anything.
Yeah, because there was a few unexplained things that happened there, but I think that's if I had to pick one to be different, that'd be it.
Yeah. Good location.
Okay, Dave, what about you?
I don't know. I might have to cheat because I can't decide between there's 3 of them. There's Lily Shore Abbey, as Stephen said. There's also De Grey Street and 30 East Drive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to pick because actually at the controversy. The 39 Degree Street I think I saw a ghost.
But I think you should choose 30 East Drive for the simple fact that you saw a quilt pick itself up.
I did see a quilt pick itself up, but I saw a ghost at 39 Degree Street, which is better.
A shadow.
You saw a shadow.
It's a shadow person.
I saw it looking through.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. Which is better? Something actually moving.
Maybe I'd actually 30
Degree Street.
30 Degree Street.
30
combination of the two. Yeah. Yeah, I think actually 30 East Drive because every time we go there, we
30 Degree.
The grey in. Yeah, we get insane. East Drive. The best time we ever went.
The Cage.
The Cage. Oh yeah, the Cage was good, wasn't it?
Their favourite.
Their favourite. The Cage was good though, wasn't it? That's one of my favourites as well. There's too many. There's too many good places.
There are too many good places, hasn't there?
Yeah, you should have given us top 5.
Yeah, top 5. We've got 4.
Lessons learned for next time, guys. What about your scariest experience?
Griff.
My scariest experience? When I thought McDonald's was shut on the way to it now, I'm joking. I've never been scared.
You legged it out the house, man. You ran out of the flipping boiler room.
Yeah, basically 30 degree in. 38 strong. I was sitting on the bed. I was on my own upstairs at the time, and I was there. And I just asked, so everyone was quiet and I just
downstairs,
said, yeah, these lot were downstairs. And I says, is there anybody in this room with me now? And as loud as I'm talking to you now, something screamed in my ear. And I just went, fuck that.
It wasn't it?
It was a video, but it was like more like it was way louder than what the camera picked up. And that just got me gone, that dude. So
it was like a snake, wasn't it?
It was like a...
Yeah, we actually used that clip on our intro to 30 East Drive Part 1.
Yeah.
And it's just a clip of, because fortunately, Griff was just doing an EVP. Again, we wasn't a team at that point. We didn't have the camcorders or anything like that. So thankfully, Griff had his phone recording and thankfully he picked it up. Because I think it's such a great capture and his reaction was brilliant.
Right, what about you, Steve?
Well, I think I just kind of answered that one. He was at the Hellhounds. But, like when we all heard the dogs and everything barking and he was the loudest noise, the loudest sound I've ever heard. But because I've already mentioned that one, I'll give you another one. Another one that was equally as terrifying was at the Nippon factory. Because we checked all that location out prior, about an hour or two before the investigation, and everything all looked good, no problem. And then when we got there at the night time, and then we realised that we forgot to check one room, and we was like, oh God, we haven't actually gone into this room to check. And as we walked into the room, there was about 20 knives stuck all in the wall, and then needles on the floor, and it stunk of like wee and everything, didn't it?
Stunk of piss.
And then straight away, I was like, what the hell have we walked into? And then after that, I was on edge. I was quite nervous and whatever, because earlier on in the night, you do see, like we saw bed quilts and things like that, but obviously no one was in. But now we went back there later, knives were in the wall, and thinking, God, are these people armed? So that was quite a terrifying experience for all the wrong reasons. Nothing paranormal, but I think that's probably the most scared of, the second of being scared on the investigation.
What about you, Dave?
Well, the scariest thing that's ever happened to me on a location was the first time we went to East Drive.
Is the East Drive, man?
I am the East Drive man. But I think that's because it's because I never go to sleep. I'm like the whole time we're there. I actually see everything that happens. It was me and Jason's dad saw it. We were all because it'd been such a scary night, an active night. We all ended up sleeping in the same room together.
Yeah. All the mattresses, throw them all in.
This was before he was a paranormal joke.
Basically,
I actually shared a bed with my dad.
Yeah,
it was that.
I had done that for about
20
years or something like that.
And basically, what happened? There was a massive bang next to Jason's dad's head. It woke him up, so he turned around and he was facing into the room, facing the same way as me. And then a ball of light appeared in the middle of the room, then shot across the room out to the window. And I have no idea what that was.
It lit the room up, didn't it?
It lit the room. Jason saw the light on the wall because he was facing the opposite way. He didn't see the ball of light, but he saw the light itself on the wall.
But Dad,
that terrified
me. Your most terrifying experience was at Roughwood the other week.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. The birds, the pigeons chased me off from a Roughwood. I mean, that was good. Watching it back, it's not as good, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's either that or the dogs at Lillishore Abbey.
Yeah,
it's one of them
Do
three.
you guys actually have a location that you wouldn't go and investigate?
Oh, we do everywhere. I think
you wouldn't do everywhere. If I told you that we've got to jump over this fence, there's some loads of heroin needles just lying on the floor, I reckon you wouldn't go.
Yeah, that's not really the location's fault, is it? If it was all tidied up and clean, I'd march straight in there.
Yeah, I think we go anywhere, to be fair. I'd like to get to Europe at some point this year.
We're in Europe.
Just about.
We ain't anymore, mate. It's in the news.
Not till next year.
No, but I think I'd really love to do like a location inside of Europe in the overseas.
I'd like to go to the suicide forest in Japan.
Like controversy.
That's a lot of money now to get.
You need permission, I think, as well.
It's just a mountain. It's a forest. There's no regulation.
I'd like to do somewhere in Germany or Norway.
Yeah, to be honest, I think we would like to do a lot of places. But I don't think there's any.
There's no restrictions, is there?
No, definitely not.
Money's the only restriction.
Actually, I think the Auschwitz would be a good place to check for it. You can't get in there, can you? For a paranormal group, can you?
See, I think a lot of the things I actually fear is going to these abandoned buildings. It's not the needles, it's the asbestos. Because I've got a massive fear. I hate asbestos.
Phobia.
And whenever I go into these locations, the rundown, I think we've only ever done two, like rundown abandoned places. And I'm looking at them, and all I'm thinking is like, is not if this place is haunted, I'm thinking, think of all the asbestos.
Will I get lung cancer?
That's all I'm thinking. I don't show that in the video. I'll cut all that bit out, the worry.
Look bad.
But yeah, I mean, I think we was going to do that RAF Church Fenton or something. But after seeing the location and, like the ceilings had all collapsed and, I'm just thinking, forget that, it's not worth it. So unless the place is safe, I don't really want to do it.
I'd even go to a dangerous place.
You would?
Yeah. By myself, though. But I think Stephen or Jason would go.
Your life is expendable, isn't it?
I don't care.
Anyway.
Well, Jason would come with me. We should just go there.
Where? I don't know what he's saying.
There's a place in Dudley, that run-down house by the station hotel.
Oh, yeah. Them flats.
Yeah, them flats, yeah.
Yeah, we should go there. Stephen don't want to go.
It's a new building there. There's no history there.
Could be the land.
Right, you guys have a new video up. It's filmed at the Four Crosses Inn in Cannock.
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
To be honest, it was quite good, to be honest. We went in there. It didn't feel, as we was mentioning earlier, like the energy. It kind of felt flat. It didn't feel like there was anything too strong there. But, as always, there's a lot of history to that place. Again, it's another another place local to us. We wanted to do it for so long, but apparently it's quite hard to get in there because only like 2 big groups have got the rights.
There's a deal, isn't there?
Some kind of deal. But thankfully, Paranormal Truth asked us to go along with them, so we went along. We was quite excited. We did a bit of filming. Obviously that's what made the episode. And a lot of the rest of it, we were just kind of hanging out and chilling out, recording for the documentary that they were doing. And it was good. And I think that we all want to do it. We're going to go down, try and contact the owners of the house. And we want to do our own investigation there. We're just the 3 of us and do the entire, one on each part of the house and whatever. And hopefully we can try and get that done this year. I think that's the aim. But I enjoyed it. I think we got a few interesting things.
Well, them knocks in the bedroom that you got was good.
Yeah, there's like loud thumps, like thuds, wasn't there?
Yeah, but I think the rest of it could have been debunked, couldn't it?
It could be the house creaking and stuff.
Yeah, because it was built in the 1600s, the house? Yeah. But them thuds are really good.
It's a good location.
Sean, if you watch the video, it probably doesn't come across when you watch it, but we only had... Really, was it an hour each to investigate?
About an hour and a half we did.
Yeah, an hour and a half.
Of recording.
Yeah, and usually we do about
4 or 5 hours.
At least.
Yeah.
So I think it was quite a good location considering.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing it. Because, a lot of the times, I think you've got to go... I go into these locations now with very low expectations now. I think the more locations you do, the lower your expectations drop because... you start realising that it's not going to kick off as you see on the TV.
I think you realise how lucky we were the first time we went to East Road.
Oh, very. But let's try not mention 30 East Road again.
That's what started us off, though.
It is. But because a lot of teams and a lot of, I suppose, the public, they go into these locations expecting, the money's worth.
They expect the entity.
And realistically, they're not going to get it. Unless you're very, very lucky, you might get something amazing. So, we go into these locations with low expectations. And if nothing happens, then I don't actually leave disappointed because, I've walked in there thinking, we're not going to get anything. So it doesn't really matter.
Well, that's a really good attitude to have, Stephen.
No, but low expectations. No, the end's still high, and I'm still, interested in what I'm doing.
I don't know, you ain't going to convince me.
I'm just saying, my expectations are just very low on because...
I don't think we've ever gone to a place and had not a single thing happen, have we?
We have.
Was it actually? I think it was the White Ladies Priory.
We did one the other day. A live stream.
Yeah. Oh, that's a live stream. The location itself, Stephen, had the knocks in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that live stream was, we had nothing at all.
It was nice, though. It was a good stream.
Right, I'm going to go with the order that you're sitting on the couch. So we're starting with Griff. If you could do any location anywhere, what would be your ideal location?
It's money. I don't know. Because I want to do a castle. My goal this year is 3 blokes, 1 castle. That is
like a porno.
But at the same time, that's exactly what I want to do this year.
Yeah.
Us 3 in a castle.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, we are in talks with Dudley Castle, aren't we, I think?
We're in talks.
We're in talks. Hopefully we can get something. So the castle...
That's my only goal. Just but if I don't know if we had to do if I had to think of a place that I could do anywhere, there was a place that they did on Ghost Adventures and it was called the Slab, Hell Slab or something in America.
Yeah.
I'd love to go there. Like that'd be good.
What about you, Steve?
Oh, God.
Sounds like you had 30 seconds to think. Come on, is it?
No, I was thinking during them 30 seconds. See, a lot of the places I really wanted to do, I really wanted to do the Cage and the Four Crosses, and we've just, we've crossed them off, just a few months ago, because I've known about the Cage for a long time, and I really wanted to do it. So that was like one of my favourites that I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of in a position where I don't really mind where we go. I mean, I suppose you've got your usuals, like the Tower of London and is it the Paris Catacombs?
The Catacombs, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to do, them places.
Yeah.
A lot of history. But we've just recently done some of the ones I've wanted to do for such a long time. So I'd probably say, the Tower of London, because it's quite close to us, but that'll never happen, I don't think. I think there's a very little chance that will happen.
Yeah, they just won't let you in there, will they?
It's a shame.
They've got people locked up in
there.
We have to see.
What about you, Dave?
Well, the building I'd like to do is apparently it's the most haunted building in the world. Apparently, it's a prison in Iraq called Abu Ghraib Prison. But obviously, we'll never be able to do that.
Yeah.
What's that?
I just
apparently it's the most haunted building in the world.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine us ever getting in there.
I don't think we'd want it. You'd probably turn into a ghost to just visit it.
Yeah, you'd probably get possessed. But yeah,
possessed. It'd be more than possessed.
Yeah, blown up. But yeah, apparently that's the most haunted building in the world. But
that's a shame.
Can't imagine us getting in there. Other than that, maybe the Suicide Forest in Japan or Auschwitz, as I've already said.
Yeah.
But again, you can't get into Auschwitz anyway. You get into the forest.
You can go into Auschwitz, but it's tours.
Paranormal.
Part of a tour.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like isn't it?
Yeah. You need a guide with you at all times.
Yeah.
Right, do you know what, guys, believe it or not?
That's an hour.
Talking for nearly an hour.
Wow. That's gone fast.
That has gone fast. But I have this thing. I won't allow you to leave the show.
Okay.
Until one by one you tell me the funniest thing that's happened on a paranormal investigation.
I'll go first.
Embarrassing.
I think my favourite, I mean, it wasn't at my expense, but it was watching Dave try and get some kind of activity out of dolls at 30 East Drive. I've never laughed so much. I mean, because I was in the room with him to start with. I mean, you don't see it in the video, but I was in the room when he was kicking off, when we was getting serious with them dolls.
Yeah.
And I could hear him, when I left the room and I closed the door, and I could hear the things he was saying. I don't think you would ever get topped.
It's a shame you can't show the whole footage.
It was so funny, and I thought he was just absolutely amazing. So for me, that was my funniest. I mean, I know it wasn't at my expense or anything like that, but it was just so funny to hear this bloke, this grown man, try and get something out of 3 supposedly haunted dolls with a lot of history, and we heard a lot of stories about them dolls, and he was going in with no fear, and he was looking for answers.
I was interrogating the dolls.
And he was just so. So for me, that was my favourite, funniest. Whatever.
For me,
an investigation. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was it.
For me, there's 2. There's one. There's one. It's either Roughwood when I run away from some pigeons, or Grey Street where Jason was doing like a single lung to a mattress.
Oh God, yeah.
That was brilliant. That's the best thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
That's Or single.
It
I
was
think
the best thing I've ever done.
it was. Trust me.
I've got a 6-year-old daughter. So.
No, I mean for comedy. I mean, I don't obviously. We don't have to get serious about it. I'm about comedy.
See, I doubled it on you then.
I mean, for the paranormal videos, I mean, that was a genius. What he did there. He come up with it on the spot as well. He didn't write it down.
Oh,
I'll come up with everything on the spot.
He's just a genius. That's all I can put it down to. He's a comedic genius.
Yeah. A lot of the time we like Black Mac Griff, to be honest.
Not in a nasty way.
Right, come on,
Nasty anyway.
My most funniest, embarrassing, whatever moments is all the time, apparently. Because all these just keep laughing at me all the while and everyone at home.
Oh.
It's one of them.
He laughs at himself, though, so that's a positive.
We're laughing with him, though.
Yeah, but when I go out, I'll cry.
Please never mention this.
Yeah.
Please, everyone that's listening, go on to Facebook and look up the Ouija Brothers. You can find them on YouTube as well. You can find you guys on Twitter, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's a Ouija Brothers UK, isn't he, on Twitter?
Yeah. We're on everything, actually. We're on Instagram as well.
And very shortly, we'll be on Amazon Prime Video. You know, we're just kind of going through the process, and we should be up on there in the next month as well.
Well, do you know what? Griff, Steve and Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you for us.
Thank you.
And hopefully we
It's taken so long to find you, but...
You should speak to our manager next time.
No, I think I'll give him a miss. But it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you, and I'm really looking forward to see what you're doing this year. So I'm sure everyone else is looking forward to see what you're going to be doing this year.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, thank
You've
you.
got lots planned, haven't you? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've got quite a few locations already booked. We're working with another team very soon. Actually, a few teams, a few other collabs. But yeah, we've got a lot of locations, and yeah, just full steam ahead, I think.
fantastic. Everyone that's listened, remember you can follow Parasearch Radio on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter. But again, thank you to the Ouija Brothers for joining me tonight. And I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Say good night, guys.
Good night.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.